you doing? My name is Brother Farraday Williams, and I am an artist. And today, I just would like to show you some of my artwork today. So let's start from over here. This first painting right here is a scene in Hawaii, you guys. It was a friend of mine who had went to Hawaii, and I had done a couple of paintings of him, and he had taken this picture for me. It's called the Sunset Palms. And what inspired me about this painting is I love the way that the sun was beginning to come up way in the back. And if you can really look closer, there's some Hawaiians in the boat right there. And you know, in Hawaii, it's all about the palm trees and the water and the sunsets at night. And so that's the Sunset Palms. Okay. The next painting here, you guys, I am from Galveston, Texas, and in Galveston, Texas, they have what you call a seawall boulevard. And on that seawall boulevard, they have created an amusement type park, and it's called the Galveston Pleasure Pier. And I can remember many times that people have come from different states and we have brought them to the Galveston seawall because the seawall was an area that is stretched for like 20 something miles, and it just was the ocean side. But this one guy painted an amusement park on the seawall, and this one is called the Galveston Historical Pleasure Pier. And the inspiration behind this is because I wanted to try to create a scene for the people to where they can take. I have smaller prints that I sell in areas in Galveston, in the various shops and in that vicinity in the Galveston County area. And I've reduced my original to some smaller prints so they can have something to take back, some historical landmark as far as them coming and visiting Galveston Island. So that is the Galveston Pleasure Pier. Well, over here, you guys, I love this painting because it is called, first of all, it's called the Sea of Light. And what inspired me to do this painting is because I thought about different times in my life when I had crashing situations and circumstances to come into my life. But you know, one thing about it is I always hung on to God's unchanging hands through it all. And just like this ship coming on the sea, when I used to just cast all of my cares on God, even in the midst of crashing waves, he still was like a bright light for me. So that's why that's what inspired me to do this painting, which is called the Sea of Light. The Sea of Light. Last but not least, San Francisco. You know, I just think about the song, I left my heart in San Francisco. And let me tell you about this painting, you guys. Number one is, this is High Street, the famous High Street where you can look into, you can come up on the top. I was on the top of this hill, and over here is Alcatraz. But one thing that inspired me about this painting is, when I originally painted this painting, by the way, I had to use different scenes and get the cable cars and like add the cable cars onto this scene. But one of the things that I liked about this painting is this painting let me know about, I think about the word fun when I see this painting because of all of the good times that I've had in San Francisco. But you know, it also reminded me when I saw the cable cars going down is sometimes in our lives, we're going on a downward trajectory in our lives. And it's during those times that for me, I always when we're going down on those trajectories, I'm reminded of I saw the people holding on for life and death on the cable cars. And sometimes in my life, when I was headed on a downward trajectory, I was holding on to God's unchanging hands for life and death as he would help me to make it safely down to the water. And so that's kind of what inspired me to be able to paint this painting. I also like the various colors and the way that the light is hitting against the different areas of the trees. And I also love the reflections of the sun, how it's hitting on the pavement of the, where the cable cars are. So that's just a few of my paintings that I wanted to just express with you and tell you about. And to see more of my artwork, you can go to Farraday Williams author.com. You can also call me at 408-781-1130 to find out more information about my artwork. Thanks a lot, and have a great, a blessed, and a phenomenal day. Thank you. Once again, I am back, and my name is Farraday Williams, and I'm an artist, and I want to be able to share a few of my paintings and the inspiration behind my paintings with you today. Would that be all right? All right. Well, first of all, you guys, we have this painting right here, and this painting is called A Pathway from the Storm. And what inspired me to do this painting is I thought about various guys. Actually, this is the Madeira Rescue Mission in the back. And the Madeira Rescue Mission is like a safe haven where guys and different people who are in transitioning in their lives, and they're trying to come out of the various storms in their lives to this safe haven. So this is the pathway out of the storm. And one of the things that at first I was trying to decide on whether or not I was going to have the rushing waves flashing all into the side of the shore, but I thought about it for a minute, and what I decided is to put a mist in between where you got the rough storms. But since the Madeira Rescue Mission is the safe haven, I figured that I'd make it real peaceful and calm right before they get to the pathway to that. And I also put the light in it is because, God's light will help them. I got a ship out there still in the storm, but it's the light that will help guide them to the pathway to come out of the storm. So that was my inspiration for this. Now, with this painting right here, you guys, boy, this is one of my favorite paintings. And one of the reasons why it's one of my favorites, because I had heard about London. First of all, it's in London. And it's not just in London, but it's the Cotswolds of London. And one thing that London is known for, it's known for its old, like bricks and mortar and those type of buildings and all of that type of scenery. But one thing about this particular painting that it caught my eye is because I saw when I looked over there and saw those swans in it, it was a sense of stillness that I noticed even in the water. I saw the reflection, but it was almost like it was such a peaceful and a stillness about these swans, the way that they were in the water. And I love the way that the weeping willows are over the water and doing the reflection like that. So this painting is called Beside the Still Waters. And that's a painting in London, the Cotswold of London. Now, this painting right here, you guys, golly, man. This painting brings back memories to me because God had blessed me to be a master highlighter for Mr. Thomas Kincaid, and he was the painter of light, and I traveled all over the country doing different and various shows for him. But this painting here is so reminiscent of being able to, in your life, to be able to allow, and when I see this painting, I think about how good God has been in the midst of my life, and to be able to be like, this is called the Space Needle. And it just lets me know and reminiscent of how God has elevated my life through my various storms up to the top of this Space Needle. And I'm also reminded that this is Mount Rainier, and how many mountains that I have had to endure and make it climb over and just make it through different various mountains in my life. One thing that happened one time, I never forget this. Look, you guys, we would eat up in, the guys would always take me from the mall. We go to Space Needle and we'd eat up in the top. And one time we was in there, we had just finished doing a master highlighting event, and we were in there and we saw this plane kept on circling around, and it had this big old flag behind it. And we kept looking at it, and it said, "Will you marry me, Mindy?" And we say, "So, man, this plane keeps circling around. What's going on?" So we asked the waitress, and she said, "Hey, he's trying to propose to her." And it was a plane going around, and the guy had gotten a plane with this banner on it, and it said, and the waitress said, "She don't know yet." And then she looked up and she saw it. She said, "Oh!" And then she got all excited and crying. And all of us said, "Well, will you marry him, Mindy?" And she said, "Yes, yes, yes." So that was a great memory with this scene too. And as we had a great master highlighting event and in Seattle. So that's the Seattle skyline, and which it has the beautiful Space Needle there. Last but not least, you guys, this one is also called, it's another scene in London. One thing I love about London, you guys, they have all these beautiful colors. In the fall, they get all the colors like the people in the East Coast, all the crimson reds and all of those things. And this is called the Borden on the Water. And to them, this is their little Venice. It's like they have little boats going through and on this little canal all the way through. So it's called Borden on the Water, and it's in the Cotswold in London. So that's my paintings that I wanted to share with you today, and share with some of the inspirations as to why I was inspired to do them. My name is Brother Farraday Williams, and I want each and every one of you to keep striving toward reaching your full potential. Find out what are your talents and your skills, and I need you to go at it. Just do your best to go at it. I actually need you to unleash your full potential as you keep flying high, because your life and your life and your life is worth living. My name is Brother Farraday Williams, and that's my time. Peace out. doing? Once again, my name is Farraday Williams, and I am an accomplished artist, and I'd like to share a few of my paintings with you today. Would that be all right? All right, thank you. Well, let's start over here. I want to tell you about this painting. This painting, first of all, is called the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. As a matter of fact, it's one of my most sought after paintings and prints. I have limited edition prints, and I have open edition paper prints and things of that nature, and it has sold more copies than any of all of the prints of all of the paintings that I've ever done. This happened to be my original. As a matter of fact, it's really not for sale because it was done in reminiscence of my 10th year anniversary. The one thing that I always like to tell people about, even in doing this painting took me 2 years to do. And the reason why it took me 2 years is because I stopped. I had stopped on the painting because I had been going through various things in my life. And so I was trying to do the cables and stuff like that, but because of where I was in my life, I had to stop for a minute when I did the painting. But let me tell you this, the good news is this, and the good news that I want you to know. I want you to know that through resilience, perseverance, and endurance, I made up my mind that I was going to finish my painting, and I made up my mind that I was going to be more than a conqueror to make it through the various situations in my life. And as a result, the Golden Gate Bridge was completed. And it's a very nice painting. I put the clouds in the mist. That day it was a misty. San Francisco is such a romantic and a beautiful place to be, and I can remember the mist over the waters and the sailboats and all of those. So this is the San Francisco Golden Gate Bridge. Well, you guys, I did this painting, which is called A Cool Day in Venice. And let me tell you this, the way I got to Venice is because I had written my book and I included my mentor, who is an artist, in my book. And because I included him in my book, he asked me, it was just last year, he said, Farraday, he said, man, I like what you said about me in your book. He said, I'm taking me and my team to Italy to paint. He said, you know what? I sure wish you'd go up there with us. And I said, well, because I work for the glass company. I said, Charles, let me check it out. Let me check out my job and see if I can get the time off. Well, God bless me, you guys, to be able to go to Italy. And one of the things that I remember is I asked him, we were going to Lake Como. I said, Charles, as a little bitty kid, I always wanted and dreamed of going to Venice. Can I possibly go to Venice while we're there? He said, well, son, I'll tell you what. Since you said what you said about me in your book, I'll give you a one-day trip to Venice. And you guys, this painting is from that one-day trip when I went to Venice, and it was another couple that just went along with me just to have company with me. And we took the one day, and listen, it reminds me of the gondola that I rode through the canals over in Venice, Italy. So that's how that one came about, you guys. I love the reflection and the colors in the water. One thing that I love about this painting a lot, you guys, is I love the way that the reflections, and Charles taught me that, how to, when you're doing a painting like this, you guys, it's very important that you line your reflections up just with the building. You know, at first when I was painting, I wasn't thinking that way, and I had my reflections kind of over too far, whatever. But he reminded me, you know, he's my mentor. He reminded me that the reflections will always line up straight vertical with the building. So that's kind of one of the things that was kind of reminiscent about that. Last but not least, you guys, listen, this painting here is called Keep Flying High. And that's exactly what I want you to do. I want each and every one of you to keep flying high and keep striving forward toward your dreams and your goals and your aspirations in life. This painting was painted because my son told me and his mom one evening, he said, "Hey, Dad and Mom, I want to go join the service. I want to go to the Marines." When we thought about the service, we said, "Oh, we don't want our son to go into the Marines." You know, we was just thinking about his safety. But we thought about the fact that we had our kids spoiled. So me and my ex-wife, we high-five and say, "Okay, son, go for it." So he went to basic training up in San Diego, and believe it or not, he passed basic training. So I said, "Lord have mercy. What can I do to try to give my son something so when he's overseas," he was going to Afghanistan, by the way, and when he's overseas, what can I give him to help him to be able to be strong and to be able to make it back safely to us? And so one night, this is the Chilean mountains, and one of my collectors had given me a picture of these Chilean mountains. And I was at home and I was praying, and the Lord gave me a vision of an eagle flying over the mountains. And in my mind, I just could imagine the eagle flying over the mountains and to a high and safe place. And so God gave me a message. I started sketching and paint and started sketching. And when I did the sketch, God gave me a message to give to my son. And this is the message, you guys. I say, "Son, life is going to be full of a lot of low valleys with a lot of twists and a lot of turns in it. Life is also going to be full of a lot of hills, son, that you're going to have to hop and jump across, with a lot of steep mountains that you're going to have to climb, son. But what Daddy wants you to do is I want you to hold on to God's unchanging hands and allow him to exalt you like this eagle above all of your problems, your situations and circumstance, and remember to keep flying high." And that's what I want you, each and every one of you, to do. I need you to unleash your full potential as you keep flying high like this eagle and realize that your life and your life and your life is worth living. My name is Brother Farraday Williams, and that's my time. Peace out.